You ever try to talk to your teen about something serious, like consent, and halfway through, they're giving you the blank stare, like you just turned into Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah wah, wah 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 wah. Or maybe they completely shut down. No eye contact, just scrolling. And you're thinking, I just want to raise a respectful kid who understands boundaries. Why does this have to feel so hard? Well, you're not alone. Every parent hits this wall. But today, I'm going to show you how to have those tough conversations about consent and boundaries without sounding like a lecture and without pushing your teen away. I'm Keisha Golder, creator of the Emotionally Intelligent Teen Method. And over the years, I have worked with countless moms who just want to connect with their teens, not correct them. And I get it because I've been there too. I remember trying to have the talk with my own sons, thinking I had all of the right words, but halfway through, I saw the look. The one that says, I've already checked out. That, that's when I realized this isn't about giving a speech, it's about building trust. Teaching teens about consent isn't a one time talk. It's an ongoing relationship skill. When you approach it with emotional intelligence and curiosity instead of control, your teen learns something much deeper than the rules. They learn respect. And if you're already feeling like you're walking on eggshells, grab my book, Reading the Teen Gap. It's filled with real world conversation scripts for the moments you want to get right. Keep watching because there's one thing that most parents miss about this conversation, and it's exactly why their teens tune them out. Most of us grew up hearing lectures, not conversations. When teens feel talked at, their brains go into something called psychological reactance. Basically, you're not the boss of me. When they sense control, they push back or check out. What starts as a lesson turns into silence or sarcasm. I remember when I first tried to talk to my son about boundaries. I had a whole speech plan. 10 minutes in, he goes, Mom, I get it. That was teen code for please stop talking, woman. He didn't need a lecture, he needed connection. So instead, I asked, how do you know when someone's uncomfortable? He actually paused, thought about it, and we ended up having a real conversation, not a speech. Before your next talk, ask one open ended question. Instead of giving 10 rules, the goal isn't to download information, it's to open dialogue. Once you stop lecturing, the next step is redefining what consent really means. Consent isn't just about intimacy, it's about respecting space, emotion, and energy. When your teen borrows their sibling's hoodie without asking, that's a consent moment. When a friend keeps texting after they say they're busy, that's consent too. You're helping your teen recognize boundaries everywhere. A 2023 Journal of Youth Development study found teens taught consent through emotional awareness, not just sexual education, show higher empathy and stronger relationships. Use daily life. Ask, how do you feel when someone ignores you? Or what does respect look like to you? Some parents worry, aren't I opening the door to conversations they're not ready for? Actually, you're closing the door to confusion. When your teen learns early that consent equals respect, they carry that everywhere. And here's the catch, teens don't believe what they hear, they believe what they see. That leads us right into modeling. You can't teach what you don't show. Your teen studies you daily. how you say no, how you handle people crossing your limits, even how you rest. One client said yes to everything and wondered why her daughter couldn't say no to friends. It wasn't rebellion, it was reflection. When she started saying, "No, I can't take that on right now," her daughter started setting boundaries too. Model boundaries out loud. Say, "I need quiet before we talk," or "I'll help you after this call." That teaches language and respect. Once you're modeling boundaries, you've laid the foundation. But what happens when things get awkward and your team looks uncomfortable? That's your opportunity, not an obstacle. Every parent hits a point when your teen shuts down. Instead of pushing harder, get curious. Say, "I can tell this feels weird to talk about. What part of this makes you uncomfortable?" That question turns a wall into a bridge. When you lean into the awkwardness with empathy, you teach your teen that emotions aren't to be avoided, they're to be explored. One mom I worked with said her son refused to talk about dating. Later, while watching a movie, she asked, "What do you think about how the character handled saying no?" That talk lasted an hour. It worked because it felt safe, not staged. If you wish you had these kind of conversation starters, that's why I wrote Bridging the Teen Gap. It gives you emotional intelligence based scripts for real life topics like consent, emotions, and self respect. Be sure to get your copy with the link in the description. Once that door is open, the next skill is empathy. Because without empathy, consent is mechanical instead of meaningful. Empathy turns rules into relationships. Instead of saying what not to do, help your teen imagine how others feel. Ask, if someone said no, how would you make sure they feel safe? Or what signs show someone's not comfortable? Role playing also helps. Having them switch roles. First say no, then hear it. That perspective shift sticks longer than any warning ever could. Research shows teens who practice empathy are 60% more likely to respect boundaries in friendships as well as dating. If you're thinking, "But my teen hates talking about feelings," start with what they enjoy: movies, lyrics, TikToks. The point isn't perfection, the point is awareness. That awareness leads right into the final piece, creating a space where they'll keep coming back. Trust isn't built on perfection, it's built on presence. When your team opens up and you respond calmly instead of correcting, you earn another layer of trust. React with judgment, and they're going to go silent. Respond with curiosity, and home becomes a safe space. Next time they share something that you don't agree with, try, "Thanks for being honest with me. I'm glad you feel safe enough to talk. You can address the details later, but right now, protect the connection." Protect the connection. Today, we covered why lectures shut teens down, how redefining consent as everyday respect changes perspective, modeling boundaries, leaning into awkwardness, teaching empathy, and building trust. Those aren't one time lessons, they're lifelong habits. If you're wondering, "Okay, Keisha, how do I actually get my teens to open up?" That's exactly what's next. Watch the one phrase that finally got my teen to open up. It's the sentence that broke the silence in my home, and it'll change how you talk to your teen too. Because when you lead with empathy, even the hardest talks become connection. Click the next video and I'll meet you over there.